one, like the price objection is not something that I'm not a big believer in, like not telling someone the price. Like I think it's foolish. I think me personally, my frame is like, I'm not afraid of shit.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to tell you what the answer is. But I have such a strong frame around it that people know I'm not afraid of it. To me,
I'm gonna prescribe whether it's a good fit. We're gonna do another phone call. Again, I'm starting to now control the interaction, and a lot of times this is when the frame battle comes in, which is no, just tell me the price, right? And that's when you have to then have your frame be strong, which is price of what? Let me first see if I can help you, right? The doctor, if you said that to the doctor, they wouldn't even know. The words are going to come off of the frame.
Yeah, we get definitely focused on the monetary side, being entrepreneurs and business owners. And so that's an easy thing to get like knocked off your frame when someone hits you with something like that. So there's a few things that you have to do. Number one, like the price objection is not something that I'm not a big believer in, like not telling someone the price. Like I think it's foolish. I think me personally, my frame is like, I'm not afraid of shit.
Yep.
And I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to tell you what the answer is. But I have such a strong frame around it that people know I'm not afraid of it. To me, people on pricing, and this is for everyone, but people, if someone asks you the price of your product and you don't want to tell them, okay, that's an issue. That means you actually are afraid. And that's not what you were saying specifically, but I do want to touch on this.
Yeah.
If you have any hesitation where that is, even if you haven't figured out how you can help them, you could still use what you're saying. Hey, well, I'm happy to go over the price with you, but I do need to make sure I get you the right prescription.
Yes.
And if I don't have the right prescription, then the price is going to be all over the board. But to give you an idea, this is what you're probably looking at. But let me get into a couple more questions. So one thing about, I started studying hypnosis. One thing about hypnosis you'll find, and this works really well when you're talking in sales and framing, is in hypnosis, when they're walking you through, obviously they're moving into your subconscious and they're taking over. You don't want to do it without someone's permission. That's the disclaimer, blah, 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 blah. But once someone has given you the permission in hypnosis to be able to take over, you're going to hijack their subconscious. During that hijacking of their subconscious, or whatever you want to call it, I'm probably not giving you the right words, but when you're in the motion of hypnotizing someone, one of the things that you will notice, and you're going to notice this in magic too, and the reason you notice is because it's going to work. It works. Okay. You'll start noticing, start picking up. Go on YouTube after this and watch a couple of these things. They'll take you from, hey, when I count backwards from 5 down and snap my fingers, you're going to go into a deeper sleep, right? And when they do that, they're talking not to your physical man, but they're talking to your subconscious. Okay. So when they take you from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, snap, they don't stop, snap and wait to see what you do, because your physical will wake up. So what they'll do is they'll take you from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, snap, and then they'll keep talking. So one thing when you're in selling mode, objection handling mode, or any questions that are going to be thrown at you, it's important that you've rehearsed these things, because just like a magician or a professional hypnosis or hypnotist, I always screw that up. They understand that part of this whole thing is rehearsal. Part of this thing is understanding what it is that you're doing. And when you can go answer a question such as what's the price, and you have your framed answer of how you handle that in a way that's strong and authoritative, also make sure you don't just stop, because you're in a mode there that you have to show your control over the whole entire situation. So they don't wake up with a response of like, oh, that's too much money. You give them a second to talk about it, and they're going to say something, even if it's not that much money. It just might be a pre-programmed response. So understand that's a super important technique in a situation where someone hits you with something like a price thing and you're not ready for it. Get rehearsed on it, and then make sure once you say it that you're already flowing into your next thing, so that their physical is not waking up on you.
And the person who owns the frame is the one who owns the conversation, vice versa. When you're the one in charge of the conversation, you are the one that's controlling the frame.